Welcome to Epic Tales and Critical Fails, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remastered podcast. Prepare for adventure, terror, and the occasional use of bad language. We're a rules-light podcast. We don't agonize over the rules because, quite frankly, there's a lot of them, and we will get them wrong occasionally, so be kind. We're also using hero points slightly differently. No one gets them at the beginning of a session. Instead, the players accrue them during the game, and they can have a maximum of 3 at any one time. But if the worst happens, they have to spend them all to stay alive.
I'm Laura, and I play Katarra, a sneaky, stealthy sailor, or pirate, depending on your point of view.
I'm Lucy, and I play Bethilde, landlady of the Wandering Barnacle and grandmotherly gnome.
I'm Mike, and I play Bertie Bunce, halfling cleric of Pharasma.
I'm Maddy, and I play Minesh Adon, a tempestuous root leshy of death.
I'm Kyle, I play the vastly knowledgeable and cunningly clever Xander Dante.
And I'm Michael, I'm your GM, and I play everybody else. We left off with you guys having defeated the singularly brilliant Gale, the definitely not deranged organ droid, and managing to level up to level 3.
Yay!
As you had returned to the Spiral Shrine, raided an acolyte's bedroom, discovered some notes that were not the kind of notes that you were hoping to find, but ones about a commander, some children, and bugs. Oh, and Baravel. There was a mention of a person named Baravel. You had all denied the need to go and see Barnaby, despite the NPCs all pointing you in the direction of the only investigator you know when there's a missing persons case.
All as a stretch. There was one person specifically who was saying, do not go see Barnaby. Yeah.
No, I said we would go see Barnaby. I just said that if we can get a few answers to some of the questions, that would be helpful.
Well, you've got some
there
answers.
was somebody who really wanted to go see Barnaby.
Bethilde really wants to go see Barnaby. You do have discovered some answers. The answers are the person's not in their room, and they've left some notes that you found. You also found most of their clothes, so it suggests that they didn't just pack them all up and leave. You overnighted at the Spiral Shrine. Deetsi are giving you access again to that little dormitory that they have there. You wake up the following morning. You have grown in power and expertise and upped some skills.
Do we get a hero point?
You do get a hero point.
Yay!
You do get a hero point for gaining a level. Yes, hero point for gaining a level.
Whoop, whoop.
What's your intention this morning? And you get up, you rise, you're all in this little dormitory. You've done a test. Oh, by the way, Bertie and Ulti did a test on Beauregard. He's definitely not undead.
Well, I had some breakfast because we have a long walk back to Barnaby's shop this morning.
Oh, we are going to Barnaby's shop.
Woohoo!
Yes.
I mean, if someone's missing, I think we should just look for them immediately, right? Why would we delay?
Well, we don't have enough information about where this person may have been going. We don't know who Baravel is, so we need to follow the trail, and the only person who can help us with that is Barnaby.
But I'm not going to
guys,
argue.
look, weren't you guys trying to find out about dreams? And you kind of did the first part of the deal, which was find out who was behind the automata, and it was definitely Gale. So we can tell Barnaby, and you can go and have some kind of seance with somebody about your dreams.
Well, that's provided Barnaby knows
And then I
someone
can
who...
get back to me cannons.
But there is a missing follower of Pharasma, and we know they're probably at this place where the bugs were, right? The bugs? Bugs?
There was mention in the notes about bugs, but we don't know where they would be located. Again, Barnaby may have some intel that he'll be willing to share with us. But Tuppence does make a good point. We did make a deal with Barnaby, and we've done our side of it. So time to cash that in.
Whilst they're all talking, can I spend the past couple of hours learning getting the magic and learning the spells of the 2 wands I've got?
Yep, roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
And cross off 4 gold.
So you're all quite happy to leave this person missing in pursuit of following an update on our dreams?
No, I
Seems a
don't-
bit selfish.
It's not that. It's just that if we just go wandering around into places with bugs and things, then we might get lost too. We need to know exactly where we're going. We have to have a plan and have a map. Barnaby seems like the man with the plan.
I mean, we haven't been doing so well at planning so far.
I mean, we haven't planned anything so far.
That's because some people run headfirst into danger without thinking.
I mean, you do make a very good point.
And this-
Maybe we should do that.
Could be our opportunity to run headfirst into danger to help someone.
Yes, but we can help them, but we
Bertie's talking great sense. Let's do this.
we can only help them. We can only help them if we have enough information to go on, which
All
we
in
don't.
favour, say aye.
Nay.
Cannons.
I'm feeling
Look.
sprightly. Let's go.
To Barnaby's.
Look.
I'm counting cannons as aye. That makes 4.
Look, we had a deal. End of the day, we've agreed with Barney that we're going to do our half. He now needs to help us with his half. You was showing not being very trusting with Barnaby for a long time, and now all of a sudden you just want to completely write him off and ignore what he might have to say. I know there's missing follower for Asmi, but they are not. But if we go see Barnaby and come back, I'm sure those 2 hours aren't going to make too much of a difference.
Do you not know what they say about missing people? It's the first 24 hours that's most important.
They've been gone for a week.
Well, an extra 2 hours isn't going to help them, is it?
That's what I'm telling you.
That's the point. Might be the difference between life and death.
He's probably already dead.
Do you know what? You can't argue with insanity. I'll follow you guys.
I think there's only one person here who's insane.
Bethilde, but we're not talking about it right now.
So you would notice this that Bethilde and Beauregard are both up and about. Beauregard looks as disgusting and crumbly and both slimy and still somehow dry and crusty as previously. But Bethilde's looking pretty good this morning. She looks like that mud must have done something.
Bum chicka wawa.
Yeah, you think, oh, maybe she had a really, really good sleep.
Great. Are we all
Bethilde,
going in?
Bethilde, when you died, did you come back as some sort of soul vampire and you happened to be eating your snail?
Well, if she did, I don't think she's going to tell us.
No, I don't eat snails. It'd be very hypocritical. So
Why?
like have a friend who's a snail and then eat snails.
Can Minesh roll survival to look at a route to Barnaby's? Maybe.
Yes, you can. Roll a survival check. Xander, you spend a couple of hours while everybody's arguing about where they're going to go, focusing on learning these 2 spells. You learn both of them and now have them in your spell book.
7.
7. Minesh, you think the best way to get to Barnaby's is to charter a ship up the coast.
I do have Know Your Way as a spell. so I mean,
Is it a cantrip?
he's there. Just points straight.
I'm pretty sure that we walk from...
Do we just see you
think I
pointing
had
at an
my
empty
dream again.
a wall?
Just straight at the wall in the direction.
A ship.
I'm pretty sure we
What did you
walk-
say I was?
Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure we walked from Barnaby's here previously, so...
Feels
You
like a
can't-
lifetime
Yes,
ago.
quite right. I'm sure I'm just
And I
thinking
think
of
that
my
was
dream.
only a day, maybe 2 days ago.
Oh, you're dreaming about Barnaby too?
No, of the ship.
Whoops. Shouldn't have admitted that.
Well, I mean,
I meant Bethilde.
you were dreaming about me. Was it a nice dream?
Yeah, and look how nice you're looking today.
Oh, thank you. I'm feeling very,
Your face.
I think she looks nice because she knows we're going to see Barnaby.
Oh, what was that?
She's got a
Tizia
soul.
walks in and is like, I'm so sorry, I was just practicing the violin.
Dear, I really think you should practice in a more confined space and practice considerably more.
Well, I was just trying to do something dramatic. I thought it would be very good music for today's sermon.
Ooh.
A
What's the
sermon
theme
to
of
start the day.
sermon?
Today's theme of the sermon is fate.
And
Oh,
how
that
long is
sounds
the
delightful.
sermon likely to be?
2.5 hours.
We need to go.
We need to go to Barnaby.
Could I stay for the sermon while you go to Barnaby and we just meet back here?
Oh, no, because we don't know if we'll be coming back here after we speak to Barnaby.
God damn it. Okay, fine. But you owe me a sermon, guys.
I will happily deliver you a sermon at any
Well,
time.
maybe they have some of those recordings. those recording gems that we found in Drent Thatch Evil's house. Maybe they can record the sermon for you.
No. Bethilde has insisted that she shall give the sermon to put young Bertie.
2.5 hours, and I will extol the virtues of snails.
I suggest we move
Alti puts her
quickly.
hand on Bertie's shoulder and say, "Don't worry, Bertie. I'll give you a sermon if you want one."
Ooh, 5 hours of sermons. What a delight.
This is knocking up to be a great day.
Wait, was that Ulti?
Yes.
Who's Ulti's?
You don't know.
Oh.
All the
Is it
more
all
reason to
about
get a sermon
snails?
from her.
Oh, mine would definitely be about snails.
They're very good. You
As
see?
fascinating as this conversation all is, I think we can have it whilst walking back to
I
Barnaby's.
believe the mother
Oh,
of mollusks
fine, let's
wishes
go
us
then.
to move.
The mother of mollusks. We best
How
follow
am I
her
the
then.
mother of mollusks?
No, that's
Slide
my
me upon
deity.
her.
Oh, your deity is the mother of mollusks.
Yes, that's who I follow, the mother of mollusks.
Now
She gets
I'm really
there eventually.
interested.
Insight check.
Roll of perception. You all start leaving the spiral
Oh, it's a
shrine.
natural one.
Natural one. You think the mother of...
Sorry, it was a 7.
7.
I can't read my dice.
No, you can't. So it's going to be a natural one for the emphasis.
No, it's not. It was 7 plus 8, which is 15.
15. You have no idea what she's talking about. You don't know anything about religion. You,
I have a +1 in religion.
exactly. You have a +1 in religion. You know
Is that
plus
the
one
religion
thing.
of booty?
Yeah, she knows. You understand the religion of booty, which is throw at least a couple of gold coins into the sea so Bismara doesn't sink the ship.
Yes, I know that.
That's about as much as you know. So you all wander through the Precipice Quarter and head back to the streets of the coins, where there is definitely a lot of activity happening at this time of the day. And you head towards Barnaby's shop, where there is certainly a lot of activity outside of it. You see people walking up and down the street, passing by. Somebody comes out with a big plant pot in their hands. And as they sort of stumble past with it, looks like something that they wanted a pretty mature plant, and they've got one. The door is open. You step inside, and there's that scent of fresh loam and wet leaves.
As we walk past the guy holding the plant pots, lean over to Minesh and say, "It looks like you."
Minesh just looks at you completely shocked that you would say that to her and then walks away from you.
As you walk away, coming down the other side of the street, walking past, hello, hello.
Don't look the other way.
I bet you'd like to put him in a pot.
Can I swear in Leshy?
You swear unless the sunflower goes bright red. It's like, oh dear, somebody got out on the wrong side of the flower bed this morning.
And then just walk off.
The sunflower walks off.
Xander has a snarky smirk that he's managed to get under Minesh's bark.
Okay. Minesh's eyes are slightly redder than they were before in
Remember,
intensity.
she's a leshy of death.
She is a leshy of death. Quite frankly, that's all she brings to the conversation. I'm going to kill you is generally her leading line.
Well, it's not a bad leading line.
I remember when we were fighting a circus full of Mortics, and the first thing that Minesh did was fire off a spell.
Yes, we
It
were
was
all
very
there.
direct.
We all were there. We all saw it. We all paid the price and the consequences for it.
Oh, but you have to know, when you're
entirely
moving
true.
in on a ship, you fire your cannons at the opportune moment.
Yes,
When you
I
know that you're going to cause maximum damage with that
Tuppence,
broadside.
why you give me a lecture about what to do on a ship?
Well,
I've been
Bertie
on a
wanted
ship.
a sermon.
Oh, I'm going to get one from you as well.
Yeah, if I ever told you about our Lord and Saviour Besmara.
Yes, we've had this conversation
I
in a
f-
previous episode.
So we're up to 7.5 hours worth of sermons.
Yeah.
I should sell tickets to this.
I'm going to be honest. I always thought the Leshy was a organic skincare specialist. Is that not what you do?
I mean, it depends on the Leshy. I mean, I like to
No, you
use...
specifically. My experience is that
Barnaby!
mostly
Barnaby!
I
you
echo your
specialise
sentiment,
in face masks.
Yes,
Well-
I enjoy healing with mud. I think it works perfectly.
She's
The
not,
last face-
she's not a Leshy of death. Death of
Bethilde,
Leshy-
look, Bethilde, it's the love of your life, Barnaby.
Well, hello, good morning, everyone. It's good to see that
She
you.
just blushes.
So, are you opening a new line of facial treatments? Is that what you're doing?
It's how I treat wounds after battle.
You treat wounds by giving people a face mask. Excellent.
It made me feel surprisingly quite a lot better
I
last time.
mean,
It
it looks
did-
like you've exfoliated really
It
well.
did also enable Bertie to heal once the mud had been applied.
It enabled Bertie to heal. You mean he used his magical powers that he gets from his goddess once he had mud on him?
His magic didn't seem to always work to
Whoa.
heal until after the mud had been applied. You said it yourself, Bertie.
Okay, well.
Well, I feel
Don't
like
know,
I
next time
walked
you're
into the
getting
middle
healing.
of something. Did you need something, or shall I go back to my pottery?
Well, you gave us a job, did you not?
I did. Have you come back to tell me about it?
Yes.
Excellent. Come on in and have some coffee.
Oh, thank God.
I'd like a sweet tea, please.
I can make a sweet tea. I can do that.
Are you sure you're not sweet enough?
I'm not the one drinking it, so I don't
sorry,
know.
I get a bit confused. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I've sold enough this morning to pay for a few extra plans.
Or how about paying us?
Well,
Bertie
depends
didn't
on...
realise he was such.
Spoken like a true cleric of
For a
harassment.
man of the cloth, you are very focused on getting
We
paid.
could be out saving
And
a
you
life
call
right
me
now.
a pirate.
That life is gone. It's just been a week. Let it go.
So you've been a cleric all a week, and you're already into money grabbing. Okay, it's a cult, not a cleric.
As is all churches. What?
True. Very true. Belief and faith is an individual thing. Organization is a cult. Right. So, what do you got for me? He hops up on the counter as the kettle boils behind him.
Is there
Can-
water
can
in the
we-
kettle?
Yes, it seems like there is water in the kettle.
Yeah. Can we?
It's the kettle. He's hooked up on the fire in the other room, and he sat on the counter while it boils.
Okay.
We
Can Xander
found
go-
some automata.
Because Xander go on a long and detailed description of exactly what's happened from all the way from Bethilde's bullhorn up until meeting the I can't remember what you called him, the knobhead Gale.
Absolumian legend domain enchanter.
Gale.
Gale.
Yeah, that's his
Yes,
name.
for short.
Mr. Gale.
Mr.
He wasn't
Gale.
very nice.
Well,
Bit, murderous.
that sounds like he was quite the entertaining experience.
I wouldn't exactly say it was entertaining.
Well, I was trying to find a polite way of saying that sounds like a shit show.
It was.
It was.
It truly was.
Well, in that case, you've done very well, and I am glad to know that you put that automator into the dirt.
Yes, but we also paid a visit to the Spiral Shire. I did it. Spiral Shrine.
The where? Look, just because I'm a halfling doesn't mean I live in the Shire. Look, first time I invite,
Booze this morning.
I carry a hip flap.
first time I invite you into my house, you sit on my table.
I did not sit on your table.
Now you see I live in a Shire. What's going on? I mean, pirates.
Anyway, we sailor. Yes, we paid a visit to the Spiral.
Shrine. I'll finish that
Shrine.
sentence for you.
They seem to be very big fans of yours.
Well, I have a reputation.
But
Ooh.
one of their acolytes or followers has gone missing.
Oh dear.
I can't remember what his name is.
Telandrus. That one. Yeah, been missing for a week.
Yes, but we found some notes in his room.
Oh, really?
Yes, it talked about talking to Berreville, needing some antidotes, and what does the Watch Command know?
Well, what does the Watch Command know?
I don't even know who the Watch Commander is.
That's a very good question, then, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I thought you're the man who knows things.
Well, I do know things. And first of all, I know that I have an upside of my bargain to keep with you.
That is
Yes,
also
I meant
true.
to ask. Yes, did you hear anything about dreams?
I've got a person that you can go and speak to over in Westgate about dreams.
They have a name and a location?
They do.
You told you the look. You have to perk up.
Well, he said
Listen.
Westgate. Westgate is a very large part of the city.
I mean, it is a very large part of the city, but there's only one temple of Desna in it, so that's the place you're going. The House of Seven Faces. The person you're looking for is a cleric of Desna, a dream reader, by the name of Seraphine Larkspur.
That's quite a unusual name.
Well, it's Church of Desna. They all have unusual names in Desnan.
What was their surname, sorry?
Larkspur. Seraphine Larkspur.
Well, that's most helpful. Thank you.
I tell you what, she suggested that you could pop by. I was going to tell you yesterday, but you didn't turn up, so...
No, because we were recovering from our fight with Gale.
I wasn't expecting there to be such intense action happening, so I arranged an appointment and I thought you would go today. So she's going to be waiting for you at 11.
What's the time now?
9:30.
What the bloody hell about helping Talandris?
Well, I'll tell you what, since you, first of all, you've definitely passed my little test. I'm impressed with you all. You're all still alive, mostly, and...
Why did you look at me when you said that?
He filled
think
me
he's
in
looking at
excruciating
Beauregard.
detail. I have sat here for the last hour listening to Xander tell me in excruciating detail everything that happened in the last 3 days.
You went into specific emphasis about how weird Bethilde's little comeback was and how his snail is now mangled.
I'll be honest, I thought he was talking about Beauregard when he said mostly. So.
Yeah, but Beauregard's just feel a little under the weather, but
I know.
he's
I've got
okay.
some cabbage leaves that'll probably perk him up.
I don't know.
I
I
like
haven't really
cabbage.
seen him eat that much recently. I don't know whether he eats as much now.
Well, maybe he's taken to drinking, and that's the effect it has on snails.
Quite so.
Soak some cabbage in some whiskey, see if that makes any difference.
I'm just imagining what our drunk snail will look like.
You've done a pretty good job of describing it for the past couple of sessions.
So, you've all passed my little test. And he reaches down behind the counter and pulls out a sack, and he throws it to Katarra as the one who's clearly the most interested in money.
Bertie was the one who asked about money.
Yeah, Bertie was.
In which case, he throws the bag to you and then takes out a silver coin and tosses it to Bertie.
Just 1 silver.
Yep, the remaining 199 are in that bag.
And you choose to trust it to the pirate.
I trust the
I mean,
person.
I would disagree with giving it to the pirate.
I
I
think
think Bertie is
I
the
nominate
most
If there's one thing
Minesh
you
as
can
the
depend upon, it's that there's more honor among thieves than there are among wizards.
I mean, I'm going to bypass
He's-
the
he's a
fact you call me
cleric.
a
Yep.
thief.
What the hell does that mean?
I
But
mean,
you
it-
always make sure that you share the loot out evenly amongst the crew.
And I've always done that. I've just picked up to find loot that often.
Yes, but I will be
I
sharing.
mean, I've heard some tall ones my time, but I'm impressed. Keep going. One day you'll make a fine liar. Keep practicing.
What makes you believe that I am like?
I'm an investigator. What do you think I do for a living?
He reads
I think
people.
that he investigates.
Exactly. Look, last time we sat in this place, I learned everything in an hour while I was out getting milk. That's how good I am. Anyway, to answer your question, Bertie.
Impressive.
Yep, there is some money. Go tool up. The other thing is, Bertie, while you go and see this person about dreams, because that seemed to be like the primary motivation for you coming to me in the beginning, I'll make some inquiries about Talandris and who this Barabel is, and see if I can't get you a person. By the time you're back here this afternoon, I might be able to send you somewhere.
Also, when you gave us this job, you did say that you would divulge more information about your client.
My client is definitely interested in remaining confidential and definitely not revealing their name. However, I can tell you, the case I'm working on is figuring out what happened in the Precipice Quarter and why there was an earthquake in the beginning. Now, my client wishes to remain private. However, they are willing to extend a line of credit to you in order to be able to cover your expenses and to pay you for a few things.
Ooh, could I buy a pretty dress?
If you so desire, madam, you need to keep the receipts. However,
How much credit are we talking about?
credit is only
I'm going to buy a
unnecessary
hat.
item.
Define necessary items.
Well, I get to define it as I'm the intermediary. So it's going to be a case of you do something, you'll get paid. However, they have sent a down payment. That's what you got there. And they've got some other things coming by courier for you, which should be here by the time you get back.
Ooh, a present. How pleasant.
Is your client Lady Neferpatra?
No, my client is
Inside
not
check.
Lady Ned.
Of course, he can't
Roll a perception
divulge,
check.
divulge that information.
14?
You definitely believe it's not Lady Neferpatra.
God damn it.
So what have you been up to? Anything nice?
Well, I've been finding somebody that you could go talk to about your dreams.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you went to the obvious place.
I
I'm
mean,
fairly certain he said he would reach out to a contact at the Temple of Desna.
I mean, why didn't we
spoke.
just go straight to the Temple of Desna?
Because we
Because
don't
we
have
don't
any
have the
contact.
credit.
Bertie, Do you know where the Temple of Desna is?
Yes, Lady Neferpatra told us yesterday.
Okay. Why didn't you go there if you knew it was so important?
Well, he wouldn't have known where it was unless he'd met Lady Neferpatra. And the only reason he met Lady Neferpatra was because I asked you to find out
And
what
the
was
only
going
reason
on.
she was so willing to help us is because we knew him. But that's not the point.
So
Anyway, so let's just...
So what's the point you're trying to make?
Why are we still talking? Let's just go.
I'll see you in a couple
so
of hours.
antsy today. You're in a
There
very
is literally
strange
a
mood.
missing follower of Pharasma.
As we've said, he's
I
probably
would suggest
dead.
on the way through the coins, stopping in at
Did you-
Crowley's Curios. It's a good place if you want to drop some coin and get some new equipment.
Yes, do you happen to know who this Baravel is? Just
No, but
before-
I will by the time you get back.
Okay.
On my reputation as an investigator extraordinaire.
And
There you are,
where's the
Bertie.
shop? It's in the coins.
It's on the way, and he shows you where he gives you directions to it. Turn left, turn right, go straight over the roundabout, and you'll get there. Yep, Crowley's Curios. Great place. Say Barnaby sent you, and he'll not charge any extra.
Do you know everybody?
No, because he doesn't know who Baravel is.
I will by the time you get back.
Yes, but at this
It
moment
seems
in
like a
time-
very popular man. Everywhere we go, like, oh yes, Barnaby. Oh yes, we know Barnaby's Rocker.
I mean, you've only been to the Precipice Quarter so far.
Oh, I see. You're a man of influence in the scary part of town.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be an influence in the scary part of town? It means that the things that go bump in the night are afraid that I bump back.
I've heard that Bethilde goes bump in the night.
Matilda just blushes.
I've heard that Bethilde's mattress is a whole host of fun.
Ooh, crikey.
Yes, he did, because Xander
I
made a
see.
big deal about it
Xander,
last time we were
if-
here.
I have a quote here. I'd like to get in your mattress. See,
and about
I know
some
all.
exercise on the mattress as well, if I remember
I
correctly.
think the exercise was tearing it open so he could get her savings. But there we go.
Kyle is currently looking at me
I'm
very
concerned-
confused.
I'm
I
very
don't-
concerned
I
about where
remember-
this conversation is going.
I remember
Let's not
talking
talk
about-
my mattress
I
anymore.
remember talking about that opening up Bethilde's mattress to get the money out of it. I don't remember anything about that exercise on the mattress.
I do the editing. Believe me, I've listened to it enough times.
She could be making this up. She is a known liar. Yeah. Yeah, she keeps saying the character's a sailor instead of a pirate. I don't know why.
That's the character. That's not Laura.
Does
Right.
your-
Well, it's been very nice seeing you all. I'll see you in a few hours.
Oh, I think we're dismissed. Okay.
Yes.
As we're walking
Unless
out,
you want something else.
Well, does your wealthy benefactor extend to, buying like healing supplies and
Well, yep, they'll
potions?
buy
I
you
would
a
say
few
that's
healings.
a necessary item.
Yeah.
Yes, do you have any healing plants?
I mean, I have some aloe vera. It's very good if you burn yourself.
Yes, I mean, I
That is how she died.
Oh shit. You would need
she looks really haunted.
a lot of aloe vera for that.
just rubbing it on the ashes.
Look, I don't have any raised aloe vera plants or anything like that, so
Minesh turns to Barnaby and just kind of says that just to make sure I'm not happy working for your client if they have any affiliation or financial or physical involvement with the logging industry or equivalent.
I'm pretty sure they don't have any influence in the logging industry, that's for sure.
What's equivalent to
Okay.
the logging
What
industry?
about
How do you feel
a
about
florists where they cut
mass
flowers?
farming?
Well, Minesh doesn't like sunflowers, so I think she's quite happy for flowers to be
Look,
cut.
there's nothing wrong with cutting flowers because let's face it, they die anyway.
Huh?
And something needs to replenish the fields.
And it's the forest as well.
I mean, if you cut down all the trees, we all suffocate.
Don't know much about
Yeah.
There might be a
Half
smell.
Beauregard.
that. There aren't many trees where I'm
I think
from.
Beauregard's suffocating anyway.
No, most of the trees in the puddles died because of the salt water.
Yes, you don't like salt water, do you?
No.
There must be trees that can survive in salt water.
You're a
a
druid.
I
You
think
might be
that's
able to
kelp.
help me with something before you leave. I got this
Let's
little
open a kelp
pest
farm.
that I want you to get rid of.
Okay. What
And he
is
goes
it?
back out into the back of the shop, comes back, and he's holding a little cage. And in this cage is a very angry-looking little animal that is like bashing against him, punching the side of the cage with his big paws. It's like, look, I found this guy going through my flower patch.
I'll take him off your hands.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's adorable.
What is it?
He puts it down on it. It's a little black-furred mole with a long snout. He's sort of looking around, blinking blearily at you all because clearly it can't see very far.
No.
And it just starts bashing again at the cage. Look, I think the little guy probably, you can talk to him and calm him down.
Okay, can I
What
try
you going
and
to call
calm him
him?
down? I don't know.
Roll a nature check.
He may already have a name.
Yeah, ask him.
That was a 17.
17. The mole stops smashing at the side of the cage with its paws and looks up at you
Okay.
and tilts its head.
What's your name?
You can't speak mole.
Damn, I can't speak mole.
I mean, he sort of looks like a Patrick to me.
Patrick.
Starts punching the side of the head again.
Excalibur. There you go.
I think that
It's
was
got a
a
strong
rejection.
name for a strong move.
It's fine. We'll take him with us and see how he goes. So
What
kind
about
of.
Digger?
He starts scratching at the bottom of the cage.
Is anyone else really disappointed with the names their parents gave them now? And they're just, I wish I was called Excalibur.
I mean,
Bertie.
Change your
Who picks
name, Bertie.
I mean, if you like, I can call you Excalibur from now
Could you
on.
imagine being a Xander? Honestly.
I think Bertie's worse than Xander, surely.
They're both worse than
He's a-
Excalibur.
I mean, I assume that Bertie stands for Bertimus.
Bertimus.
Bertimus Bunce. Reporting for duty. Oh, I like it. Felt all powerful for a second.
As there's this discussion about names, the mole shuffles around slightly and looks at the latch of the cage expectantly.
Minesh kind of holds on to the latch and says, if you stay with us, we'll let you out and feed you. Okay, Minesh opens the latch.
You open the latch, and the mole sort of crawls out of the cage and just flops into the pocket of your armor and just pokes its head out. It's like,
There. Okay, we have a mole.
I don't have a mole. Where?
it squints at Bethilde as she says that, and you think it probably can't see very far.
Probably need to get it checked if you've got a new mole that's a bit... Has it grown or changed shape in recent days?
Is his eyes like mucousy or pussy?
No, its eyes are quite glossy, but however, you do understand that moles don't necessarily navigate by eyesight alone.
Okay. You're like, smell.
Yes. You think it's probably more accurate with its nose.
Okay.
Right, do you need any more compost, Minesh? Because last time you were here, you asked Barnaby for some compost.
I think I'm okay.
Just ask somebody if they want compost.
I
very
am being
personal.
considerate of my crewmate.
It's okay, Bethilde. I'm used to these questions now.
I mean, this is getting weirder and weirder. So,
You
goodbye.
gave her the mole.
I wanted her to kill it. I wanted her to exterminate it. I didn't want her to...
You can't kill it.
Why not?
No, you can't kill it. It's absolutely fine. I'll take it off your hands.
All right, the next one I get, I'll introduce some alchemist fire.
Oh my god. No, just let me have it and I'll look after it.
Okay, I'll bring you a ready supply of critters from the back garden.
Okay.
Next time I see you, I'll have at least 16 rats.
Okay, rats are noble creatures.
Please don't tempt them.
Right, off you go.
Yes, we'll see you in a few hours.
Don't forget to stop by Crowley's.
Yes, we're going to stop by Crowley's.
All right, good luck.
Go to bed.
Without
Pretty dress.
that desperate as for being at Crowley's, I'm purely expecting him to show up behind the desk at Crowley's with like a fake mustache. Hey,
Howdy there. I see you found a way to crow.
So
I'm
you
Barnaby's
need-
transatlantic cousin.
Are you going straight to Westgate, or do you want
Well,
to...
I was going to say, like, how long would it take to get from Barnaby's to the Temple of Desna?
a couple of hours, you reckon?
Yeah, so if we've got to be there for like 11 and it was like 9:30 when we started the conversation with Barnaby.
Could get a cab.
Oh, I mean, would you like me to jet ahead and I can hold the meeting?
No.
We could just
you
get
all
in
go
the cart.
very slow.
Where would we go for a cart?
We'll go to the main road and flag one down.
Just hurry
Okay.
up.
Yes, so we'll work
All
it
right.
apart.
Okay, so you walk back up to the one of the major
Who's
streets.
got money for a car?
Flag
I've just been paid.
flag down a cart, and it costs you 4 silver for all of you to jump in a cart. And it takes you about half an hour to get across the town.
That money could have been donated to the Spiral Shrine. I don't know what you're
Still got
doing.
Plenty.
Bertie, we already donated money by giving them those posters.
I'm Bertimus Bunce, I'll have you know.
Bertimus.
He's Bertimus Bunce, son to a goddess of death.
I Okay, I'll concede you might be right on this one, but the next lot of money
Everybody
we get, we
roll
don't.
society check. See what you know about Westgate.
I'm calling shotgun.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 3.
You
You're full of
guys have
puddles.
never been north of the puddles.
12.
12. Bertie, you've never been north of the puddles either.
14.
Hell's...
You kind of know there's something north of the puddles.
18.
You're not as familiar with Westgate as you were with Eastgate. Fortunately for you, Tuppence is like, oh yeah, Westgate, right? Westgate is not as wealthy as the Petal or Ivory District, so not as good at nicking stuff around
But
here.
I presume it's better than Eastgate.
Well, if you ask the people in Westgate, they'll tell you it's the least gate. That's what Eastgate is to them. Yep.
So they're snooty.
Well, I get the feeling they are, yeah. Though not as wealthy as the Petal or Ivy District, Westgate is home to some of Absalom's oldest and its families, and its traditional nature has drawn an increasing number of the new nobility in the city, and older houses whose relevance has begun to fade and their political influence is waning. Since the installation of its second sewer system, Westgate is rapidly growing, a fact the people, the residents mention with no small amount of pride. Bestgate, as they call it, is a mix of businesses and residential neighbourhoods that grow in wealth and size as travellers move further north and west into the district and further away from the puddles and the foreign quarter. Along Westgate's eastern boundary lie a myriad of businesses and restaurants, including the Windarium with its clockwork toys and oddities, and the culinary genius of To Eat the World. The Absalom Chirurgeon's Dispatch also is in the area, and it oversees the healers and physicians who make house calls and respond to medical emergencies throughout the city. The domed roofs, slender towers, and terracotta walls of the Anadari block stand testament to the Vudrani cultural and architectural influence on Westgate, and the humble smithy, the Father's Forge, is both a source of quality metalwork and the city's largest church, Torag. The cart eventually takes you north through the district to a small plaza, which is overlooked by a large building of dark stone. The House of Seven Faces embodies both Desna's ethereal beauty and her celestial mystery. It is a place where those who worship the Song of the Spheres can rest weary feet, enjoy fine companionship and conversation, or simply offer prayers in peace. From street level, the cathedral appears to reach for the heavens, its arches and spires soaring up towards the starry sky, their lines resembling the curve of distant constellations, or the wings in mid-flight. Walls made of dark, iridescent stone glimmer with specks of what look like stardust, reflecting faintly during the day. But at night, the cathedral would be transformed. Crystals and stained glass capture the moonlight, casting starlight reflections across every surface, light and shadow playing across the seven faces that adorn its facade. Now, many have wondered about the nature of the seven faces, which mysteriously appeared the first night the temple opened to the public many centuries ago. Even at the beginning, their faces are badly weathered and eroded, and as you look up at them now, they look as almost as if they were carved 1,000 years before Absalom even came into existence. No one's ever been able to definitively identify the ancestries of the seven, but from your perspective, and all of you see different things. They look like humans, elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, and even a goblin, depending on the angle from which they're viewed. Much has been made of the fact, and you will be more aware of this than others, Bertie, with your recent coming to religion. Much has been made of the fact that there are seven faces, and philosophers and theologians have suggested a connection to ancient Thassalon's seven nations, a symbolic nod to the passage of time in the form of the 7 days of the week, or even that the faces are representations of the 7 incarnations of the goddess Savannah. You all get off the cart, start walking up the steps to the front door of this massive cathedral, at which point the doors are already standing open and people are drifting in and out.
All right, I might be willing to admit this is quite an impressive cathedral. But
It's better than yours.
well, yeah, but ours is, busy doing active work in one of the roughest parts of town and really trying to improve the place. What are they doing for the citizens?
You might want to keep your voice down. We don't want to antagonise.
Yeah, who is it we're here to see again?
It's Seraphina Lockspear.
I thought we were doing
Larkspurs.
shopping.
Seraphine Larkspur.
That's what I said.
Yeah, sounds like a lark.
But yes, I thought we were going shopping.
We're going shopping once we've spoken to her because there wasn't enough time to go shopping because you were flirting with Barnaby.
What?
It was not. He was definitely flirting with me this time.
You keep telling yourself that.
I suppose if we stand in the lobby area and say Seraphine Larkspark enough.
Or we could try to find an acolyte.
Can I walk
or
up to the
someone.
nearest person who clearly works here and ask for Seraphine
See an
Larkspark?
old man in cleric's robes. Hello!
Don't think
Morning.
that's Seraphine.
Have you? Do you know someone here called Seraphine Larkspark?
I do.
Brilliant. Where is she?
She's over there.
Incredible.
Points
Thank you
down
very
the
much.
nave.
The what?
Is there like anyone? Is there anyone there in particular, or is he just kind of giving like a general?
He points down there, and standing there holding court seems to be an athletic-looking woman, probably in her mid-30s. She has dark hair with a geometric fringe, and seems to wear her long chestnut hair, up in braids, with flowers in her robes, the shade of soft blues and lavenders.
Just say to Tuppence, a very impressive cathedral indeed.
I'll thank the old man, and I'll just kind of start walking and gesture everyone to follow me.
Okay. Beyond the cathedral doors, the ceiling is a masterpiece of artwork. It's a vast dome painted with constellations in gold and silver leaf that magically shift as though the constellations were in constant movement. Luminescent crystals embedded in the dome cast gentle starlight, illuminating the grand nave in shades of blue, purple, and silver. Carvings of butterflies, azatas, and star monarchs decorate the columns and archways of the interior, each one delicate and detailed as if it could take flight at any moment. The floor is a mosaic of celestial bodies, stars, and constellations, allowing the faithful, and now you, to walk among the stars. Immense stained glass windows in hues of midnight, lavender, and pale blue show scenes of Desna's mythic travels, the goddess's elf-like beauty, butterfly wings, and diaphanous gown rendered in exquisite detail. As you get closer to the far end of the nave where this woman with her braids and flowers is holding court, you notice that the main altar sits at the far end of the cathedral before a grand window shaped like butterfly wings, the stained glass depicting a cosmic scene of stars and galaxies. And you just get the sense of, okay, this goddess likes butterflies. You reach the woman and she's just finishing up with whoever she's talking to, a little halfling man who's kind of got some tousled hair and is looking around. Oh, thank you very much, Seraphine. I really do appreciate that. And turns around and he scuttles off and she looks at you and she's like, well, hello, welcome to the Temple of Desna. My name is Seraphine. How can I help you?
Barnaby arranged an appointment for us with you.
Oh, are you the people who all need your dreams listened to?
Listened to, interpreted.
Well, which one is it?
Well, I suppose both, really.
Okay.
I guess there's not really much point listening to if there's not going to be any next step to it.
Well, I'm assuming there would be a next step to it. I simply just wanted to know who you were.
Oh, well, that's a big question, really. We're an interesting group, you see, but we all seem to, despite having no prior connection, all we seem to be sharing dreams.
Well, sharing similarities with our dreams, which is quite unusual.
Well, follow
We're all
me.
having ship dreams together.
Well,
You're all did she just say we're all having shit dreams together?
Ship! About ships, about boats.
Oh, right, about boats.
Ships.
Right. Come with me.
so why the butterflies?
It's really, really like butterflies, don't you?
Why the butterflies? And you see she's got a little butterfly necklace around her.
Is it like a symbol of change, or
Well, the great Desna, the dreamer herself, the song of the spheres. Have you not seen her magnificent wings?
have we seen her magnificent
She
wings?
points at one of the stained glass windows, and there's that
She's a butterfly?
elven woman with these huge butterfly wings and this dress that just seems to descend into being just stardust.
But I suppose, why does she have butterfly wings rather than...
Well, butterflies are a creature of dreams.
Are they?
Yes.
Cool, good to know.
They flutter on the winds of change.
I will fully accept that what you're telling me is entirely true and that butterflies bring change and dreams.
Well, every goddess and god have their own favourite animals.
I'm going to be honest, I feel like I've heard stranger things recently.
Well, I'm sure you have.
I'm Bethilde, by the way. Lovely to meet you. This is Beauregard. Beauregard, shake the nice lady's hand.
Don't touch
She,
it.
she, holds,
And he just like quivers at her.
she holds up her hand and is like, That's the most unusual animal. Have you got a permit for that?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. I would hate for the Westgate anti-mess brigade to turn up and impound your snail.
Is this
No,
snail
he's-
leaving like a trail or anything behind it?
Very little of a trail.
Okay. So
He's too dry to leave much slime behind.
that's good to know.
He's my friend, he's our companion, and if anybody is overly concerned, he's my emotional support snail.
Okay, we'll go with that.
And
Okay,
Minesh
that-
kind of pipes up, being like, we do have permits and everything, but if they were set to expire soon, where would we go to renew them?
Oh, you would just need to. I have no idea. Look, these people
I'm
just
sure
think they're trying to keep
Barnaby
the streets
will
clean.
be able to assist with.
To be honest, it's
securing
just an
permits.
overofficious neighbourhood watch. I'd just avoid them.
Can we
Okay.
please talk about the dreams?
Yes, follow me.
Thank
She
you.
leads you back down the nave and opens a door in the side, actually just adjacent to the front door you came through, and leads you into a small room with a pit that descends into the middle, about half dozen steps, full of lounging cushions. And she wanders around, and there's the scent of incense and
We're getting
earthy.
stoned, aren't we?
What does that mean?
I'm so excited to
I
leave
want
home.
you to chase the
I've
butterfly.
heard about this.
The room is filled with the scent of lavender, which mingles with the sweet earthy notes of the smouldering incense in the brackets on the walls. Seraphine leads you down into the pit, and she then makes herself comfortable, fluffing out her robes as she sits on a set of
Does she sit
cushions.
or does she like low?
No, she sits cross-legged on these cushions, and she looks at you all and, please, take a seat.
I really thought my first narcocaustic experience would be as a result of Bethilde. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you have come here together, so maybe you have.
Brilliant. I'm in. Have my gold. Let's go.
I don't think any
Is it a
payment is
shisha pipe?
required.
Is this like... I've heard about these places, you know? You just... Yeah.
You
I
notice
don't know
that
what you're talking about.
Look,
What
homeschool-
circles have you been moving in?
Homeschooling was very boring, and there was never a kid to bring weed to school, so
Weed?
sign me up.
I
So
saw
you
the weed
counted
the
on your
other
mum.
day. It was that sunflower leshy.
Oh,
Don't trust the sunflower leshy.
oh,
Is
bad,
that because it has weed?
bad
No,
experience.
because he
I
is a
cannot
weed.
confirm or
Is that not what
deny.
you're talking about?
Sunflowers are a weed?
Yes, are they not?
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Should be exterminated.
She knows.
now that you get a proper look at her and you're actually all sat down, you notice the woman she has feathers in her hair as well. And she's
always
wearing
do.
these robes, which she has feathers in her hair, flowers in her hair. She's very into her.
Does she wish she was a
Hippiness.
punk rocker?
She wishes she was a punk rocker. You get the feeling she probably was in a past life. She's also wearing these robes that flow out and are soft blues and lavenders and decorated with silver embroidery, which seems to match the decor of the chapel itself, of this cathedral. She looks around at you all and is like, so, why don't you begin by telling me about your dreams?
Why the frick did you all look at me then?
Well, you are a
You seem to
cleric.
be enjoying yourself the most, Bertie.
Wow.
Can we
You're
just
clearly the most excited.
If
Yes,
I was
but
going to tell
I-
anyone about my dreams,
Why are you
like,
looking down there?
So that's not what I meant.
should
You
go- I think you should
horn,
go
you
first.
horn obsessed freak.
Just everybody calm down. We're trying to do something serious. Wow.
bloody hell.
So I had this dream where I was looking in the mirror
Wait,
and then
don't tell me. I'm sensing a short, dark stranger.
I think he was in there somewhere. All my teeth fell out, and then I was in the Wandering Barnacle, and I thought it's very drafty in here, and it turned out I was naked.
Maybe not this dream. A different dream.
The dream
Oh,
about
The one about the ship.
Oh, that dream.
And the psycho
Ooh.
pomp in the water.
Psycho what?
The psycho
Psychopomp.
pump.
Is that
Pomp.
what it was?
Pomp.
So no, I was in the Wandering Barnacle and I was fishing. Yes, and then there was a ship, and there was fire, and then there was water, and I think something was in the water.
Yeah, so
As Bethilde finishes speaking, the woman lights an incense stick and places it in a burner in the centre of this pit that you're all sat in. Who is going to share their dream next?
Well, mine was quite similar, and there was a boat and lots of fire. I mean, okay, ship, boat, and lots of fire. And it was about the world burning so it can be grown anew.
Oh, yes, somebody was talking about my box. Although I'm not sure if I'm getting my dreams confused again.
Don't forget, we all heard a voice at the end of our dreams,
Yes.
and I cannot remember what it said, but we did work it out.
Yours said the lady awaits where prophecy came undone down by the river.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about the rest of them, but I obviously didn't pay enough attention to what the others were saying about their dreams.
I think mine said something about opening a box.
Or don't open the box.
No, it was like a box opened and there was something inside. No, I don't think it was that. It was something like that.
Out of character, Bethilde's was the box was opened and the world knew hope.
Yep. Bertie's was the lady awaits where prophecy came undone down by the river. Minesh was the fire cleanses so the world may grow anew.
Close.
Xander's is the
mirror
fractured
fractured
so the one became the many.
And mine was it is not your time.
Yep. So one by one, you fill her in on your dreams. Is that what
Yes.
basically you're
Yes.
saying? Because none of you
Yes.
can remember them.
In a flirty way.
You remembered yours, yeah.
I've just been desperately scrolling through every chat that me and you were in, trying to find the new one.
Listen to the podcast.
No, I did, but I can't remember the exact grading of everything.
You saw
And-
an arcane tower with
Yeah.
tubes in it and a
Yes.
crackle of
Yes.
energy, and then you were drowning. As
And
opposed to
Katarra was stood on the deck of a ship. There's fire.
well, she saw somebody stood on the deck of a
Well,
ship.
yeah, saw someone, and then there was pain, and then darkness, and then a voice.
As each of you finish telling her about your dream, she lights another stick of incense and places it into the center of this, into the burner at the center of this room. At which point, she reaches inside her robes and takes out a small crystal that she holds out her hands, hangs over the burning incense.
It's like dowsing.
Can I do an occultism check to see if I can work out what she's doing?
Go for it.
Can I do like a medicine check to see if this
Can I-
incense
can I try
is
Arcana?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Since my background is crystal healing, can I roll on
Would
that?
you like a crystal healing lore or whatever it is? Go
yes.
for it.
14 for
14.
occultism.
You think this is probably some sort of ritual.
I got a
30.
30.
30.
30.
I rolled
Yeah.
a 7,
Air
and
high
I don't know
five.
what I added to it.
Whatever your lore is that your crystal healing gives you.
It doesn't.
All right,
You
well,
should
it'll be a
have-
nature then.
Yeah.
So 12.
12. You think this is some kind of ritual.
Can I cast guidance on her before she does it?
You can cast guidance on her if you want to.
Yeah.
You two with your 30s, Bertie and Xander, you both think that she is conducting some sort of communion with some form of higher power, possibly Desna, if not somebody who serves her very high up in this sort of the celestial hierarchy of the Desnan Church.
To do this, how high up in the church would she have to be? Is she up there? Is this kind of like something they can all
She
do?
doesn't look like she's a senior cleric. She looks very much like she's somebody who's mid-ranked, but it looks like you get the feeling that this is somebody who is conducting what they do best.
Okay.
Almost as if this is her role. There's this sense that flows off of her that this is what she does. She's able to deal with dreams in a way that others aren't, which perhaps is why Barnaby sent you to her.
But what was the job title? Dream Weaver Catcher or something? Or
Dream reader.
Dream Reader? Yeah. Makes sense.
Take notes, people.
She
Got the wrong
closes her eyes for a moment. She closes her eyes for a moment, and when she opens them again, there's an almost otherworldly glint in her pupils. She nods at each of you in turn, her gaze warm, yet penetrating, as though seeing beyond your words and your deeds into the visions that you've had themselves. After a moment, she speaks in a low and melodic voice, her tone changing, shifting. Dreams are a gift, but they often arrive wrapped in mystery, asking us to look within and beyond ourselves. Desna does not send such visions without purpose. I can sense that there is a connection, something binding each of you, each of your dreams together. A single message woven into each of your spirits. She continues to look around the group, her gaze searching, as though seeking hidden clues in the lines of your face, the way you shift, or twitch, or fidget nervously. Perhaps in your auras themselves. She looks at the charm in her hand that she's already dangling over the brazier. This charm is an aid in interpreting the layers of dreams. It'll help us to glimpse more deeply into the dreams that you've already had and share the understanding of the message that Desna has sent to you. She gently swings the crystal above the incense bowl, where it catches the moonlit glow of the lanterns and refracts it in tiny, shimmering rainbow arcs across the room. Her voice softens further as she continues, and you find yourself focusing inwards, recalling a fragment of your dreams, a detail, a symbol, or a feeling that lingers in your memory. As you grasp for those slivers, Seraphine begins chanting in a hushed, lilting tone, like starlight woven into sound. The room fills with an unusual and almost enchanted stillness, as though you are teetering on the edge of waking and dreaming. And suddenly there is the roar of waves, the crash of water against wooden hulls, the straining creak of rope and sail. Movements and moments pass you by, a sense of northerly travel washing over you, though you cannot explain why. And then the sounds and the scents are different, violent. The thunder of cannons, the acrid scent of gunpowder, the crackle of flames, and the stench of oil and lacquer as ships burn. Visions rush over you like the roar of the ocean waves. A half-elven woman stands on the deck of the ship, a shadow skulking towards her with murderous intent. A leshy burns and screams as the deck explodes and they plunge overboard. A young woman lies dead in a cabin, cradled in another's lap. A man cries out as his leg is broken and he is thrown into the sea to drown. A gnome scurries up the rigging, catching a glimpse of two fleets locked in combat. And another of the masts crack and splinter, a halfling thrown clear of the deck by the impact. Darkness closes in, bleak and eternal, utter and complete. A cloak, like the depths of the ocean or the dread space between the stars themselves. Something moves amidst the gloom. A darker shape, a massive shape. Its eyes suddenly lighting up in a fierce explosion of red light. It watches, assessing, its form slowly coming into focus. Black feathers cover its draconic body. Branching horns and jagged spines protrude from its head, and the underside of its huge black feathery wings pulse and flicker with the same red light as burns in its eyes. Somnia vatum, edax astra tangitor, ego sum noctum siphane, odete berne. Ignas purgat emunde renascie, possit sed in speculo fracto iunus mundi. Arca aperta est spirita mundi cogniviet, sic matrona expectat ubi presse profitea extutie aminum, quod non est tibi tempus. The words roll over you, and though you know it's spoken in a foreign dialect, an alien dialect, you all know what it said. You all know how it spoke and the words it used. Dream seers, touched by the Ibex Astra, I am the night without end. Listen well. Fire cleanses so the world can grow anew, but the mirror fractured, and one became many. A box was opened, and the world knew hope. So the lady awaits where prophecy came undone, down by the river, because it is not your time. As the last word rings in your ears, Seraphine opens her eyes with a start, her face reflecting a look of both fear and a sense of awe. Desna speaks in whispers of moonlight and stardust, and our journeys are ones that lead from darkness into light, something that all Desna's followers must face at one time or another. But it is not Desna who brings you these dreams. It is something else, touched by the weave of fate in the beginning and end of life. I do not know who this night without end is, but I sense the touch of death and decay in it. She looks around at you all as she sits back slightly, looking almost spent, drained.
I'll offer to heal her if she feels she needs healing, or if she feels it would help.
It takes a lot to do this. I'm uninjured. It's fine. Just
Xander falls into a seat and kind of a 1,000-yard stare. Just says to her, "What was that? A prophecy? A what? What was it?"
I do not know.
I have something for this, something that might help. And Bethilde pulls out her deck of cards and sort of hands them to the Dream Reader.
For our listeners, the Harry deck has been passed to the GM.
And the GM cuts the deck, so it's the top card.
So Bethilde looks at it, sees a picture of a man sort of reaching up to the sky with shackles. And at first, you see a sort of smile, and then her face darkens as she sort of realises that the card was the wrong way around.
It's Christian Grey.
I don't know. I feel that no matter what past we all have together, I worry what the future holds. It seems that these dreams won't bring us any freedom. That was the Big Sky card. Big Sky is the chaotic good of strength, but misaligned. The cast off shackles.
This is the first time we've... it was like a conjoining of our dreams, but not quite all of them, right? So it's like missing the start of my dream, but it shows the ship in more detail. Is there anything that... and I'm perhaps looking a bit at Katarra here. So anything there that feels more familiar to people having seen more of the dream?
Yeah, can I roll like a perception?
Roll perception.
Can I see if I could recognise the names of the ships or the
Roll
flags
perception.
or anything like that?
I am rolling
Can I roll
absolute poop
more
rolls
of like an
today.
occultism or arcana to see that, to get more of a sense of what this could be? Like, is it prophecy? Is it just Katarra's dream? Is it just
roll arcana or occultism.
23.
23.
14. Put that die away. It keeps giving me bad rolls today.
19 for Katarra.
19.
25 for Minesh.
25.
22 for
22 for
occultism.
Occultism. You think that... I mean, it certainly has the ring of some kind of prophetic speech, or at least some kind of direction. Whether it's... Prophecy came undone when Adon died over 100 years ago. So the worth of people who can see the future, or creatures who can see the future, is diminished in this day and age. But it does have that ominous feel of something being pointed to or pointed towards. And there definitely was that underlying sense of this is both individual and collective, whatever we're involved in here. It affects each of you in a different way, but it binds you together at the same time. Minesh and Bertie and Katarra. Katarra, you don't really notice too much new with the dream. It's just more vivid. You still don't recognize the woman on the deck because the woman has red hair.
Or the person skulking up to the woman?
It seems to almost be as if she's looking from so far behind that the skulking, whatever shadow is skulking in, is visible only at the corner of your peripheral vision. But what you two notice, Bertie and Minesh, is the name of a ship. Persephone. Laura is currently fist-punching the air.
Because I figured that out ages ago, like in the first session.
Yeah, but you can't really prove that, can you?
I can because I've still got my OneNote document where I put it in there.
Not in front of you.
to be fair, you did turn around to me and say after the first session, the ship's going to be called Persephone, isn't it? And I was like,
What does Persephone mean to you?
Are you talking to Katarra or to Laura?
To Katarra.
No, well, it depends whether you or Bertie share the
Yeah,
information.
Minesh would have.
Yeah, so does
Because Minesh knows the ship.
roll a sailing law. Go on. It's going to be the one time in the entire campaign it's useful.
Okay, that's okay.
Persephone.
Who in Greek mythology was the
Wife of Hades.
Yeah, and travelled to the
spring
Underdark.
goddess of spring and everything.
No, she was the daughter of the
hell.
goddess of spring. Whenever she had to go down to the underworld, the goddess of spring would get sad and almost cause a genocide.
Yeah.
Also known as winter.
Yes.
Well, I was a nerd.
Sailing law.
You don't know how deep this rabbit hole
And of
goes.
course, Hades was renamed as Pluto in the Roman pantheon, so it became Pluto and Persephone.
Yes.
And Carl, how often do you think about Rome?
So much.
Yeah, that's it.
It's his Roman
Greek-
Empire.
Greek mythology is my Roman Empire.
I got 18.
18. It vaguely rings a bell. Mainly because it's passed around as a whisper, a legend amongst the people of the shackles, amongst the pirate crews. It's something about, it's the ship that got away. It's some kind of captain's unicorn, the thing they could never capture.
What would that symbolise?
It's just the impossible dream, the impossible haul, the ship that they
The
couldn't
impossible
get.
dream.
To bear with unbearable sorrow. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause.
So we know the history of the ship.
You know that
No,
it's
no,
a
it's
legend.
a legend that like is a ship that always gets away from whoever tries to pursue it.
Yeah, can I do like a society check to
Go for
in
it.
case I'd like heard stories in my pub
Mhm.
about
But-
it?
Or any tales of it not getting away.
28.
28. And what was your roll, Katarra? 19.
18.
Yeah. With a 28, you would have heard some other stories. So in the shackles, it's passed around as this legend of a ship, almost a ghost ship in some respects, that no one can ever catch. No one's ever able to, and then it just disappears from the history books. You heard a slightly different version of the story, Bethilde. You heard that Persephone didn't get away. You heard that Persephone and its fleet were engaged with a group of pirates, and everybody died. That they stopped everybody else leaving. Something about the Persephone, something about the captain maybe, stopped whoever it was that waylaid the ship from escaping alive.
So the stories of the captain, would they say that they were like a red-headed person?
The captain of
As
the
in,
Persephone.
like, was there no, like, the tale of the red-headed captain of the Persephone?
No, as far as the story goes, the captain of the Persephone was a grizzled old halfling with a great big bushy beard.
So I am not going to share what I know. I am just going to look very suspiciously at Katarra and Tuppence.
This is Kyle asking. In the dreams that we've been having, are these people us, or are they just someone else?
It's impossible to tell. It's too vague.
Okay.
I mean, in that vivid dream we had, it's kind of not quite a coincidence that they resemble us in some way.
They seem to.
Yeah.
But you're looking through your dream. When you have your dream, you're looking through their eyes. What you just saw, what Seraphine was able to do for you, was almost like giving you the third person perspective of the dream.
But there was a Leshy, there was a gnome, there were so
It were two
It
people
did
in
not go well
Katarras.
for the Leshy.
no, but
So, just
Yes,
a
that's
clarification question.
Is she?
Would the story that Bethilde's heard, would it have said, like, when this occurred about the ship not getting away and sort of sinking everyone? Okay.
No, dates don't tend to feature too heavily in almost mythical stories.
Yeah, no, I just wondered if there
The
was
creature in the dark, we also got a better look at that.
You did.
So I'm operating under the belief that it's a psychopomp.
And it looks a lot like the ones you found in the crypt. When you went through the fissure that had opened up in the wall at Gale's basement, you found the crypt that was decorated with all different types of psychopomps.
And
You recognize it as being something like that.
And we know that psychopomps there are certain types, but also within those types, certain ones are notable or have
specific individual names.
Was there would I know what type this is, and B, was there anything distinct about this one?
Roll a religion check.
21.
There are psychopomps who have individual names, or really stand out within the histories of the Phrasman Church. However, this is a group of psychopomps that stand out amongst all others anyway. They're the judges of the Boneyard. They're called Yamaraj. They are second only to Pharasma's generals, or the psychopomp ushers, or Pharasma herself. And their decisions in the Boneyard about where souls go could only be appealed to the goddess herself.
you share that with the group.
Yeah.
Go Bertimus.
Does the voice sound like the voice I heard telling me to keep on walking?
Yes.
So I would say something like, I feel like I heard that voice before. In that strange place when I kept walking and walking and just thinking about it's making me cough.
I think that's the incense.
Or her dust.
maybe we should get out of it. You just swallowed a butterfly.
I think that would be sacrilege.
You've swallowed a butterfly? Quick,
Oh, maybe there's a moth.
somebody get the tweezers. Bring me the Desna tweezers.
In the vision or dream or whatever you want to call it that you were able to tap into, there seemed to be other people present. Is there any way of knowing who they may be?
Which other people?
Well, there was somebody who seemed to be sneaking up on a red-headed elf. There was a man who broke his leg. There was some people in a cabin.
What people in a cabin?
You said that there was a woman who was like dead and being cradled in the cabin of
Oh,
the
a
ship.
ship's cabin.
Yes.
I was wondering where you were going with that for a minute. I thought you were talking about a cabin in the mountains. A log
That sounds
cabin.
delightful.
I got completely lost with you there. It must be the incense. This takes an awful toll on the mind. She looks at you and is like, I don't know. They're not my dreams. I merely can show you what I show you. I could not tell you who these people are because it is not my dream to have or to connect with the identity of these people.
Is there any way of finding out who they may be?
There may be, but it's beyond me.
Is there a way, or do you know someone we could go to so that we can connect individually with our own parts of that dream to get more detail from it?
Well, to be honest, you probably would need to find something that was physically connected to the dream to be able to have a locus that you could build some form of memory bridge or some form of mental link with it to be able to draw out more of the detail.
Are ourselves and each other not enough? If we're all connected in the same dream?
Well, you all seem to be connected together. There's certainly a thread that runs through all of your dreams and through all of you. But what you see, these dreams that you have, are fragments that have become stuck in the backs of your minds, that are there and accessed whenever you sleep. Perhaps not all the time, but some of the time, certainly. But around them would be a much greater whole. And that is being kept from my vision and from my ability to interpret these dreams by whatever this creature is. Whomever or whatever that is, it is controlling and building some form of barrier between you and your dreams.
When you say the creature, you're referring to the psychopomp.
That's what you believe it is, then yes.
So is there a symbol or an object of that specific psychopomp we could use to meditate on? Or
Not that I have, but I know where we might be able to go.
Can I make like a boneyard law check to see if I
Go for
could
it.
work out what that might be? It's a 19.
19. You know with your boneyard lore that there are multiple of these creatures in the boneyard, and any number of them would have titles of all sorts of different shades or types. And overall, you think it's referring to its title, The Night Without End, which would suggest death.
So I would probably impart that to you guys.
I'm a leshy of death.
So we were trying to say that this is all your fault.
And at least 4 of us worship the god of death. So.
As I heard somebody once say, how very metal. I don't really know what they were talking about, but I think that's the kind of thing.
You mentioned needing something physical or to enhance,
I think she was saying it was something that was physical from the dream itself.
like part of the shipwreck.
Potentially.
I mean, if the shipwreck actually did happen and is not in some form metaphorical, then
We've
it could
never
be.
been on a ship.
Well, speak for yourself.
Well, together at least.
Are we not?
I've definitely never, ever been on a ship in my life.
Are we not seeing Katarra's past life?
Oh, it is. Is this you? Is this
But then
all
that
about...
would
Why are
mean
you
that we've
invading our
lost
dreams?
Our memories as well.
I'm not invading your dreams, and I have no memory of what I experienced
Insight,
prior to my
perception.
current.
Is she
Roll
lying
perception.
to us?
Can I roll perception?
Go for it.
I'm rolling
Yeah,
perception too.
Roll that from a 20 to an 8.
19.
So, I think it
you-
was an 11.
11.
But Beauregard was a nat 20.
Beauregard's nat 20. Beauregard bobs his head up and down.
He smells the lion.
Minesh rolled a 28.
28,
14.
14, and 19. You're all pretty convinced. Minesh, most of all, you're fairly confident that Katarra is telling the truth. She's not invading your minds. And this is not, as far as she's aware, her past life, because she has no more idea about that than you do.
Okay.
Can I give her 5 minutes and see if she still feels this isn't her past life?
You wait 5 minutes staring at her, and as she drinks some whiskey from her hip flask. Some risky whiskey. Some risky whiskey from her hip flask.
I'd buy that.
Risky whiskey because it's one that Bathilde's given her from the Wandering
Yeah.
This is
Barnacle.
my personal supply. I picked
Which
it
you got
At
from the
least
Wandering
that's what you
Barnacle.
remember.
No, I
We haven't been there yet.
because we haven't been to the
You
Wandering
have. You
Barnacle.
stayed there once.
No,
yeah,
we
but I
haven't.
wouldn't touch the
Have
whiskey
we?
there. Yeah, because I gave
Yeah, we
Xander the
did.
towels and the soap from Drent Thatcher Evil's house.
Yep.
Oh
You
my
stayed there
goodness.
after Drent Thatcher Evil. Yep.
Did Alti
It was
come with
obviously a
us?
very memorable experience.
Alti is sort of in the
Obviously.
room with you. She's kind of like Tuppence. She's sat to one side, kind of watching, almost in kind of tagging
Did they
along.
see the dream? Did they see the dream as well?
Tuppence is like, well, that was quite a trip, wasn't it? I haven't had a trip like that since I was in Port Quedon, and I ate these funny mushrooms.
Do you know
So-
anything more about the ship?
Penelope. Not Penelope. Persephone.
Let me check. Oh, I know
I
the
see.
Penelope. I sank the Penelope.
Oh, that's good.
Can I-
What about the
can I-
Persephone?
The Persephone. Oh, yeah, it's a legend, right? It's this ship that sailed, the story goes, from Sagava, the Chilaxian colony, before it was no longer a Chilaxian colony and they now call it Vidrian, right? And it was a ship laden with all the treasure of a colonial power had put together over years of, civil crushing people beneath their boots, which the Chilaxians are really good at, especially if you're 3 foot tall. Don't go there, Bertie. You'll be in trouble.
We'll all be in trouble if we go
It's
there.
Bertimus.
Bertimus would be fine.
He might be Bertimus, but they're all indentured over there because they're shorter than the ruling class. Anyway, yeah, a whole years of colonial rule boiled down into a single ship surrounded by 5 Chilaxian galleons, and they sailed up the coast of Garund, never to be seen again.
So can I do if they saw the dream as well? Can I do a perception check to see what Ulti and Tuppence,
Go for it.
how they look like they dealt with?
I'm
what was
pretty
going
sure
on?
the legend is attached to the
What
legend
is
of the
going on today?
firebrand.
I think Bethilde did not wake up. I think she's just like asleep. That was a whole 11.
You have no idea what they're thinking about these dreams.
And Tuppence.
Did you also eat a moth?
Yeah, I choked on some soil.
Can you remember when this happened with the Chilaxians?
Oh,
and,
decades ago.
how many decades?
Oh. Well, the legend of the Persephone was quite a long time, you see. It's almost like the ship itself was a legend, and then it became known for this one trip it was making. Almost like this Captain Half-Whistle was some kind of folklore hero. But, 25 years maybe.
And you mentioned the legend of the firebrand.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this legendary captain of a pirate ship, sailed a fleet of ships that was quite big. Even the Hurricane Queen was kind of a little bit intimidated by her. However, she was a bit of a prick.
And the firebrands are still about?
Well, it was the firebrand. You see, I'm not sure whether she's related to the new organisation that copped up. But, yeah, I think it was something to do with her red hair, just like that woman in that vision you had.
And how long ago was that?
About 30 years. No one's heard from her since. It's almost like she got swallowed up by the eye of Abindago.
Or the Penelope?
I mean, the Penelope was a good fight. Took 16 cannons to take down.
I think that was before my time.
It was. It was 2 years before we found you in that barrel.
How did you come across Katarra again?
Oh.
You were just in a barrel.
We found her in a barrel. She'd stowed away on the luck of the draw. We opened the barrel up because it'd been making noises. So we,
Snoring.
pretty much, it was a soft snoring.
Why were you hiding in a barrel?
She stowed away. That's what you do when you're a stowaway. You hide in the barrel.
Why were you trying to go on a pirate ship?
Well, I didn't know that it was a ship that sometimes and occasionally engaged in piracy.
And after the Penelope sank, she had 2 hard years, and sometimes you just find yourself back on a pirate ship.
I mean, the Penelope is a different ship to the one you're talking about. That's the Persephone.
I don't know. There's too many ships in all of this. It's very confusing. The Penelope
know.
and the Persephone and the whatever else. I don't know.
That's why we have
What ship are you on again?
the luck of the draw.
The Luck of the Draw is a very nice ship.
It's a very nice ship.
It's very good. It's a sloop of war.
Sloop.
A sloop, yeah. Fast ship.
Sounds like something I'd serve in my pub. A sloop.
I'm sure that would
Pint
give.
of sloop.
I'm sure that would give loads of people dysentery.
Yeah, I've hardly given anybody dysentery. I'll have you know.
Hardly.
So you've given some.
If they had dysentery
Look,
when they came in,
I've
or
seen-
when they left, that's their own fault.
I've seen the way you rest of your customers avoid that sunflower. Did you give them dysentery?
I don't know, but nobody deals with him. He's one of the bad sort.
All
A
right.
bad seed, you might say.
Exactly.
Minesh nods in agreement.
Right, so, yeah, that's all I know about that.
Right. So seeing as we're incapable of independent thought, or effective independent thought,
Speak
Oh.
for yourself.
are we going back to Barnaby Strucker and asking him what the hell we're doing next? Or can we...
I thought we were going shopping.
Yeah.
Somebody told me I could buy a pretty dress.
Seraphine's kind of
Anything
Does-
but shopping.
interject as,
It's okay, you can have a pretty dress as well.
as Bethilde talks about dresses. Seraphine interjects and goes, "Well, you have a name of a ship, and you're attached to an investigator."
So he can perhaps see if he can find out any more about the disappearance of the ship and the
I mean, surely we'd go
battle.
to where the boats are from and ask the boat people.
ship.
Surfing.
The ship people. We'll go ask the ship people in the ship place if
Well,
they know.
Yes, but if it's a legend and if it's like, the equivalent of a, unicorn, then, it's not necessarily going to be in official records.
Well,
No, but like boat people know things. They go around places.
Do you not want to see Barnaby?
I thought you'd
I
like
don't-
to
no,
see
but
Barnaby.
I feel like we've just seen Barnaby.
No, we haven't.
And-
We've been here for a couple of hours, I presume.
And
by
I believe
this
there's
point.
been a bit of an update that we could give him. Seraphine,
sorry, before we just move on with this boat people thing.
Ship tuppence.
Look, Governor,
should know.
Governor, calm
Let
down.
it go.
Let it go, Governor. It's not worth it. Sometimes you've got to understand which battles to fight and which
Sorry,
ships to sink.
sloop people.
If we go and ask the boat people, we could ask the people who build the ships all the way up to the people who keep the records of the ships. There'd be a lot of boat people to talk to before we might find an answer.
And Barnaby's quite good at finding the answers quickly.
He
He's
does
not
seem
an
to be a
oracle.
direct.
I never said he was an oracle.
No, he's an investigator. An
So shall
oracle's
we
a completely
hit the
different
shops
class.
And then go see Barnaby?
Yes,
Seraphine, do we owe you any payment for this service?
No, I
Say
think Barnaby
100,
paid up
160
front.
Yeah,
silver.
Barnaby paid.
No, there's no payment.
A
no.
donation to the church, maybe?
You could donate to the Church
We
of
could
Desna.
donate some money to the church before we leave, seeing as she has just done us a
Come here.
really good
Here,
service.
have a silver.
A silver each?
You may stay and use this room for as long as you'd like if you'd like to continue this conversation.
Do you not want to stay with us?
I unfortunately have other appointments.
We could buy you a drink. Is that how you do this? Bethilde, how?
Bertie, you need to waggle your eyebrows suggestively. That
I-
normally works.
I grab an eyebrow with my fingers and waggle it out. It's like this, waggling my eyebrows.
Tell her that she's as beautiful as a butterfly.
Your eyes really bring out the beauty of a butterfly, something like that.
Very well done.
It's
Smooth
beautiful.
as
It's the most
sandpaper.
colourful butterfly I've ever seen.
She looks at you, smiles, nods, and then says, "I'm really sorry I couldn't help you any further."
Oh, she's leaving.
I'm going to. No, I'm going to. I'm going to
Once,
look. I'm going to.
once you've passed your vows, Bertie,
Lost
come
my
back.
belt. A, B, A, E, I, O, U.
Exactly.
I'm going to look at her. I'm going to give her like a really hard grandmotherly stare and be like, "Wouldn't you like to stay and talk to Bertie?" And I'll try and get to an intimidation.
Okay.
No.
That's a 16.
16. She looks at you and she says, "I would love to stay and talk to Bertie. However, my next appointment is coming in 5 minutes and I'd like to get a drink before I do that.
And when would you be free?
I would be free in 3 nights."
There you go. And you're in.
I don't know where I'm going to be in 3 nights, let's be honest.
I mean,
Listen, I lead a life of adventure. Bertibus, was it Bertibus? Bertibus is a worldly man of much adventure and cunning. If you cannot give me your time now, I don't know where I'm going with this. Hey, have a donation and I give...
just buy her something pretty.
I can't woo you in my words, so here's some money.
It tends to work.
I mean, it works in the shackles.
Only in certain establishments, John.
Where's the narcotics I was promised?
No, you're not supposed to get them with narcotics. That's the wrong
No,
way.
this was my coping mechanism for
okay.
the car crash. That
She looks at you all and
The
says,
coping mechanism for homeschooling.
may Desna's wings carry you safely through the unknown that waits before you. And then she gets up and leaves.
It's okay, Bertie. What I'll do, we'll go out for an evening on the town. You just need to sort of sharpen your tools.
To be
And
honest.
I make a very good wing woman.
Ooh,
Before she leaves,
I might
I
take you up
say
on that
to her,
offer.
and I'm sure the wings will flutter us back here.
She turns,
You're
looks at
flirting.
you.
You can't take of yourself.
Oh my! It makes
She turns,
now
looks
I
at
know
you.
why she wasn't
She turns and looks at you and winks, and then keeps walking.
Oh, I'm very sorry, Bertie. I think that she plays for the other team.
To be honest, I'm glad for the excuse because now I don't have to blame myself.
You look over at Tuppence and Alty, and they are giggling quietly in the corner at the car crash that was Bertie.
Xander's giggling as
Well, you weren't any help.
Bertie.
I don't want to be helpful. I wanted to be entertained, and I was.
I'm sure we can find you lots of pretty maidens.
Look,
some
I'm
other
just
time.
glad she left before I could actually make a donation, so my money's not been wasted.
Bertie,
I
Bertie,
find
how
somewhere
many?
with a pretty maiden with somebody who will get you a little further than that.
Bertie,
I'm sure they have donation boxes.
Oh, no,
Bertie,
we're fine.
I have got to ask. Bar your own mother and the women here, how many women have you actually spoken to in your life?
Do cousins count?
No.
Unrelated.
What about Minesh? I've spoken to Minesh. There's one,
is
two.
female.
Is Beauregard a girl?
Beauregard, you will get. No, he's not a girl.
I'm pretty sure Xander said apart from
Like,
the
Yeah,
women in this
apart from the
room.
women here
Oh.
and
your
your
mother.
relatives, your immediate relatives, and your other relatives.
Well, I serve some in the shop sometimes, but they
Serve
tend
them
to be
how?
more elderly and interested in furniture.
Minesh turns to Bertie and is like, I'm too old for you.
Oh, well, that's fine. Minesh, I really value you as a friend.
Thank you,
But I
Bertie.
just don't know.
He has spoken to Lady Neferpatra. And,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I always forget her name, Dietzer or whatever the acolyte.
Dietzer.
Yes. her.
Dietzer. Hmm.
I have to keep notes for you, Gov, so you know who you've
I
been
do
talking
keep
to.
notes, except you keep telling me I spelled the names wrong, and then that leads to mispronunciations.
Yeah, it does.
So he has spoken
Yes, was
to
there any
other women.
pretty ones at the spiral shrine that you liked?
I don't think so. I mean, to be honest, at this
I mean,
rate,
I
it's
imagine
like-
that they have like common interests.
At this rate,
I
it's the
mean,
psychopomps for
You
me.
were
So
It's-
over Lady Neferpatra.
Matilda, from what I can gather, he's been a cleric for a week. I think when we went to the Spiral Shrine for the first time, he had also been to the Spiral Shrine for the first time.
Should we go?
yeah, please, dear God.
It's okay. Let's go get you something pretty and then make you feel better.
Erasma, take me now.
No woman's going to take you.
Oh, that's me.
What did you say?
No woman's going to take you.
I'll
As
just
you
make a
all
will
file,
saving for.
Yeah, take
You will-
1d4 psychic damage.
you all file out of the room and head towards the door of the church, and you glance back Bertie, and you notice Seraphine standing there talking to somebody else, and she looks over their shoulder, catches your eye, and just winks at you as well.
I blush profusely.
You blush profusely and hurry out the door.
Bertie, feeling well?
No.
And you wander across the plaza and find yourself another cart, or walk the way back to.
Well, it depends. What time of day are we on now?
You're about midday at this point.
And we said it'd be a couple of hours.
A couple of hours walk back.
But only half an hour by cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take a cart.
So you take a
Can
cart.
we
So there's
keep
another
away
four.
from the wardens.
Well, Beauregard can shrink down, can't he?
You get the feeling that she was probably talking about the over-officious neighborhood watch.
Oh, okay.
Somebody walks past and says, "Oh, you! Why have you got a snail there? I'll tell you." Then you're gone.
Run. Okay.
Tuppence looks at you like, "Oh, I don't think he's a city official. He looks like he's got nothing better to do with his life."
Sounded like he might be related to that nosy neighbour.
I mean, possibly they're all related to each other. But you decide that you're going to pay another 4 silver, jump on a cart, and head back across town towards Crowley's Curios. At which point, we'll end our episode there, with Bertie blushing on the back of a cart as you drive away from the House of Seven Faces with its mysterious carvings that make no sense.
You want to cast Rousing Splash on yourself, Bertie?
Nothing is being roused right now.
You can find us on your favourite social media platforms. You'll find links in the description below.
Thanks as always to Syrinscape for the amazing atmosphere and music. Make sure you check them out at syrinscape.com. You've just got to be using them at your gaming table because epic tales need epic music.
Thanks for listening. We've been Epic Tales and Critical Fails.